Alaikum, brothers and sisters. Suleiman Rahim here, Messenger of Covenant, Breaker of Seven Seals. Have a special presentation here today, brothers and sisters. And again, some of you are not going to like it. Right? We still in that emotional state. But again, fear. See, we've been in a state of fear. I mean, I've been thinking about this quite a bit lately and understand it more, and how it affects me also. And our people in a state of fear because fear has lost control of losing. And the Holocaust was total state of fear. I mean, that's documented. You know, like I said, I have so many things I've been dealing with, and some very detailed. Sometimes you miss the big picture, you know. And I know we lost control, but you know, I didn't really connect with fear. I didn't think it. You know, I just lost control. Now, you put these things together, you connect the dots. Oh, and that's why we was in total fear. There's a total fear, and that was a method by which they control us, by the fear, and they concentrated mostly on the women, because like the messenger said, they started the process while you're still in the womb. Because one of the things he said they would do is they would take a female who was pregnant, right? And especially they thought she was pregnant by one other niggas, right? It wasn't his, because that wasn't supposed to happen. If you let you was on slave what do you call it? What do you call those farms where you where they had they were using you to produce more slaves. Use I forgot what they call them, right? Breeders, breeding for them. Otherwise, and I don't know why. Let me see if I can make a conscious effort to remember this name. It's just sad. I'm sad. Because I never commit this form to memory. It's a very important. Well, I want to be very clear. I hate this new phone. I hate it. Okay. Not it. It's simpler than that, but it's not. Well, let's turn to have that. Jordan Duke's so good. Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, well, I don't like the one they got here. It's more complicated than the one. It's a simpler one. So anyway, that's why I can't remember it. It's simple. Hold on. I don't hold. Waste time here. Well, I used to just go anyway. There's nothing one I saw before. I can't even pronounce it. And it was a term they used. And the term was, if anybody watched that movie Braveheart, that's what that was all about, right? The nobles reserved the right that any woman, if she got married to a plebe or a servant or whatever, or a peasant, that a noble whose land they was on, because like, see, they had a form of slavery, they didn't call it slavery. And that's another story, right? Because they enslaved their own people. And the nobles, then you work for them and so forth. Anyway, if you got when you get married, and that's the whole movie's all about, that before you have a relationship with your wife, they would. That was their first right, called it first night, but the term they have here is not the term I saw before. And they carried that off into the Holocaust, slavery, because the thing is, I made a whole movie called the Journey of August King. That was that movie's about. It's about a slave, a girl slave, her mother had been raped, and so she was the offspring of the slave master, because her mother had been raped by a slave master. She was the slave master's daughter. But now she was about to reach the age of puberty, or whatever you call it, right? And he was exercising right, so he said he had to have sex with her first. I mean, this is sick stuff. But it's called a movie, Journey of August King. Right? And so the thing is that they said, any slave girl, right, master had to have sex with her before anybody else did. So most of the children that was born was, that's why half was a demon, so it was his children, they're black-faced devils. And only way you could have any relationship with a woman, you'd sneak and do it. Or like a movie, what was that movie, Jamie Foxx, the Django? You had to kill another nigga, then you had to sleep with one. But not the first night. That's after the devil used her up. That's how you do that. You see? And so, and like I said, so if a male, if he suspected that that child that she was carrying wasn't his, and it wasn't a slave, he gave permission to have her, because master had to give you permission. That's why he had to jump over stick stuff. You had to give permission to have any contact with your own woman. See, that's how ignorant, cruel. They say, oh, well, only some of all of them. This member's a democracy. And I keep telling people, I don't want to get sidetracked here. The North, the most populated, they say North wasn't doing this stuff. The most population was up north because they were in cities. South was mostly plantations. If the North didn't like slavery, they could have stopped it, voted down, got it out if they wanted to. They was part of it. Because look up, what's her name? Harriet Tubman. Look where she was a slave. Look where that plantation was. It was New York. Wall Street was the reason I call it Mel Wall Street. Just line slaves up along the wall. It was slave trading. So all that bullshit they feed you, and that's what Trump is pushing. Oh no, we got to change history. We got to tell something different story. It's bullshit. And it's much worse than even than I've told you, and that you can even Google and research. It's much worse. I mean, if I start telling you, I get sick. Even just trying to tell you, and you get sick hearing it, because you can't believe they did that. You know. Let me give one. I don't want to get sidetracked here, because I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. But you know, when what was that movie? What was it? Godfather, when they was down in Cuba, and they didn't show the actual thing, but they was in some kind of oratory. There was a show, and when they don't tell you the stuff, and they don't. You Cuba, they was hating. Castro took over and everything else. They don't tell the whole story. They never tell the whole story, because the Americans was down there and in the industry, plus the mob, industry down there, they pretty much made slaves out of people. And they had these little shows where what it was is that they would have a show, one of the shows, this was how sick it was, they'd have a mule having sex with a woman on stage. This kind of stuff was doing that. And that's why they got rid of them folks out there. But they don't tell you that part. Our Castro was good, the communists. You know, the emotional terms. They don't tell you he got the people out of there. So, man, what y'all doing down there? Look what y'all doing. Because people so poor. Same thing in Haiti. See, I'm getting sidetracked here. Let me say this real quick. Move on. In Haiti, they had this brother. I think his name was Washington, something like that, right? He was a top investigator, medical investigator, whatever. He was like some kind of doctor. And so he traced that AIDS thing down. And so they tried to tell you that AIDS came from Africa. AIDS did not come from Africa. You know, everything bad comes out of Africa. But everything good comes out of there too that they lack, right? And the point is that AIDS broke out in San Francisco because they had those bathhouses out there where, you know, they go in and they have a bathhouse and they all be in there. All these men, they have sex with each other in the rooms, and they have private rooms. They have a big, it's like a big sauna around the pools, naked. And then they had the rooms that go and probably a massage, but you know, there was massaging, right? And AIDS broke out there, and they could have stopped it. But they said, man, you can't tell our civil rights, all that kind of stuff, because it broke out there. They could have quarantined it and locked it down right there. But they went to court, hey, man, you can't do that to us, man. You have discrimination, all that kind of stuff, and that's how it spread all over the place. But they found out that where it was, it broke out in Haiti. Because, well, let me hold off on that for a minute. That's where they first noticed it was. Now, it could have broke out in San Francisco. But what happened was those gays, they was going down in Haiti, and those young boys down there, because AIDS is very poor, that's the whole story together, and they was like $5 or $5, that was a lot of money. That's sex with little boys down, that's where it was going. He was a homosexual, boys wasn't homosexuals, but hey, $5, man, ooh, that was a lot of money. See? And that's what the first outbreak was. But they took it, the way he explained it, they gave it, during the activity, they gave it to the Haitians down there. That's where he first outbreak. But they didn't say that. And then, right, it blew up there, and they came back to San Francisco, and it spread from there. And so it's come from a monkey. He jumped up in Africa after billions of years. A monkey jumped up and bit somebody. Let me go bite somebody. See, then I'll tell you the whole story. And that's how sick. And they may still be doing that today. Going near those Haitian children, $5, and will you do this for me? Do that? Oh, I'll do this. Cool. And like the lesson tell you, Ishmael, they are brothers. Ishmael tell you. The lesson tells still in their social activities. I told you about the UF, and they caught him. This is the actual fact. He got all those playgirl, but he's doing a dog. They caught him doing a dog. Anyway, let's move on. So the thing is that they put fear. They would take the baby, they would cut the womb open, right? Well, the baby's still in the womb. Pull out. They suspect that baby was his, one of the others, no. And she just snuck around. So pull it out and take the baby, and then when it falls down on the ground, right, still touching him, it's still, it's still in the umbilical cord. It stomp brains out, and have all slaves around see him do that. See, and make sure all the female slaves around that's pregnant. So and that put, because if the woman's in a state of fear while she's pregnant, she's gonna still into the child. Come out nervous. And he said they started the womb. And even that so-called Star Spangled Banner, even says in there. And they tell you, well, sing that song? Anyway, let me move on. That's how, and fear. So remember, that's part of the consequence that's coming back on them. Because what they've done to us should be done back to them. That fear's gonna come back to them. All that fear, and our people still in a state of fear right now. They're still in a state of fear right now. Like I said, when I started really thinking about this, because I've been doing a little, I've been for years just getting information out, studying information out. I never did too much retrospection, looking how it affects me and so forth, and my experience in my life, what was motivating me. Because I was so busy trying to get information out. And I look back and say, oh. And so I saw a lot of things I hadn't noticed before because I was so busy trying, Okay? It says that about Son of Man. It says, I forgot how to say, I should get the quote. Seeing many things, he comprehends them not. I think that's what he said. Seeing many things, he comprehends them not, because he's so busy seeing so much stuff that he don't see how it affects him. Let me see if I can get that quote very quick. Seeing many things. Hold on, just a minute here. Okay, I can't find it right now, so I'll find it later. But that's what it says, right? And so I'm a lady, and that's something I want to talk about, maybe more detail, maybe even today. And I incorporate into what I'm talking about now. But fear is a powerful thing, and fear is about losing control. So we was in total fear because we was total darkness. We had no control of ourselves, of our women, over the women, over their children, nothing. We had no control whatsoever. We was in total fear of these people. And now we're going to be fist bumping and all that kind of stuff with these folks? Oh boy, let's move on. If they understood, had any idea about what's about to happen here, it'd be a whole different, whole different ball game. Okay. So that fear, and that's coming here because America's losing control, and that's what Trump's all about. We gotta get control again. That means we gotta get out of fear. That's what I was saying. You gotta try to extrapolate. Instead, say something. Look in between, find what it means, what they're saying. Because if you understand fear and control is connection, they're telling you they lose this. The fear they see is a loss of control. And what is it about? It's a war. It's conflict. That means they're losing. It's so much you can get out of this statement right here. If you just use your brain, say, men's hearts fail and they will fear for those looking after those things that which coming on earth, for the powers of heaven be shaken. So it's something about the powers of heaven that relates to them. So their powers are being shaken. And it's causing them to have fear. What it means, but if you have fear, loss of control, that means they're losing control over there. They're losing that war. That's what it's saying. Once you understand, I'll move on about that. I got so much to say. And in our case right here, in Exodus, I'm not going into detail here, but it talks about here, it says, the Egyptians, Pharaoh approached, and some of Israel looked, and behold, the Egyptians were coming after them, and they became very frightened. So the sons of Israel cried out to the Lord. Then they said to Moses, is it because there was no grace to eat that you have taken us away to die in the wilderness? Why have you dealt with us like this? Bring us out of Egypt. Is this not the word that we spoke to Egypt, saying, leave me alone so that we may serve the Egyptians? For it would be heaven better for us to serve Egyptians for dying. No, man, you want to get us? You want to have these people, these devils, kill us? See, they have a shorter version of somewhere, but I haven't been able to find it. But I'll find it later. But basically, they're saying they wouldn't listen to Moses because they was afraid of Pharaoh. Fear. This fear keeps coming up. Fear. Because that's they put so much fear in it. And our people fear right now. Because right now, when you think about it, if you a cat in dog land, you better obey the dogs, or they're going to attack you. You got to act like a dog, because that's their laws. They're going to make laws that dogs lack. They ain't gonna make dogs that cats lack. But those cats are laws are for dogs. But you gotta act like a dog. If you don't, you're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna be a criminal, right? And that's what here. They make laws that's for them. So if you don't act like they want you to act, then you're a criminal. You're breaking the law or whatever. And so you end up in jail. You end up losing your job. You do whatever. And now people know that. They may not understand it clearly, but they know it. Well, they understand it. They may not, like I said, you can know something without understanding. No, you can understand something without knowing it. See, you say, how is that? Yeah, you can understand something without knowing it, right? It's like, say women don't know it. Well, let me get alone. Point is that you know instinctively that you better do what these devils tell you to do. But is that what you want to do? Or you end up in jail. You tell your children that. Why you gotta tell children? Why you gotta tell a bird to fly? You don't have to tell a bird to fly. It knows what to do. So you gotta tell children, don't do this. Why you tell them don't? Why would you have to tell them don't do something if that's their nature anyway? See, that's what I'm saying. You can understand something without knowing it. So you said, what? Because if that's their nature to do these things, you have to tell them, say, hey, go out there and don't talk back. Don't say anything. Don't spare out late at night. Don't do this. Don't go walk around like this. Means if you didn't tell them that, they would walk around like that. I mean, why would they be? What would we motivate them to do that? Because that's their nature. So you tell them to go against their nature to stay out of trouble. That's what they're telling our people. That's what they, and that's what we tell our people. That's what we do. You want to stay out of trouble. You want to go to jail. It's a fear, but it's underlying. It's the background. You're not paying attention to it. Most people ain't paying attention to anything because, first of all, once you get knowledge of something, a sense of responsibility comes with it. So it's best not to know. They say ignorance is bliss. See? So if you know devils are devils, and you know that, then why are you associated with devils? It's best I don't want to hear that. I don't want to know that. You see what I'm saying? You see, fear every place. All these clowns that claim they're the Son of Man and everything else. Look at it. They got the American flag there. You got Ishmael saying they can't call us racist. He's already telling you right now, man. We ain't gonna do nothing to cause you with devils being mad at us. See, we love devils. He's talking fear, cause he's a coward anyway. We get called devils. That's all fear stuff. They saying, and you see, you don't see anybody doing what I'm doing. No one. And I'm not backing down. And they want to. I don't care. You see, I care, but the point is, I'm not backing down. You don't see anyone doing what I'm doing. They try to get around skirt, but they got a American flag or some of them okay. It's just the bad ones, like Farrakhan. You don't see anybody prophesizing and telling exactly like I'm telling and calling out who's who and what's what. Across the board. No one. They showed me someone is doing it, and I just shut up. No one. So-called Son of Man, or American flag there, and then you got it both together. Obviously, he don't know what's going on. Well, yeah, whatever. Farrakhan. See, that was coming. All this is fear, but because you don't pay attention, you don't see what's going on there. They're all afraid, or they demons. And the demon's afraid too, right? Afraid of daddy. It's all about fear. See? And it says, I'm fearless. Elijah Muhammad was fearless. Master Muhammad took fear out of him. And that's why he had to get rid of him. And puts Farrakhan, he was a total stone cold coward. And you don't see any fear come from me at all. None, no compromise. Zero. And I don't have no army, I don't have no police force, I don't have no, right? And that was nowhere I'm at. Some of you may even know. Well, why are you wearing the glasses and everything? Well, it's really not a mask, is it? I mean, it's not really hiding my identity that well, is it? Right? I'm not hiding. I'm not afraid. That's probably affecting some of the people that motivation why they acting like they acting, right? See, Because if you're afraid, like I said, if you're afraid, all the fearful are going to throw in the lake of fire. Because once you got in your mind and you understand how things work, there's no reason to be afraid. Your fear is because you're losing, like when I have control of myself. I don't have total control of myself because I'm still here. Matter of fact, Muhammad didn't have total control, so here because they put him in prison and everything else. If you're here, you got a relationship. You got them and them, and so he had more control of himself than they did. But they had some control because he was here. So we got to get out of here. That's part of getting control, total control of ourselves. As long as we're here in another nation, right? Eli Muhammad said, if you're here, we got to obey the laws and carry on. Well, that's what he says, right? But you don't understand that. I'm not keeping to it. See, because I keep saying the same thing over and over again. But sometimes it seems like it's so simple. You should, when I tell you 1 + 1 is 2, I mean, why do I gotta keep saying? Why I can say 2 + 2 is 4? I gotta keep. I mean, you understand the concept, but apparently, I mean, I'm getting in the habit of doing that. I don't want to like doing it. The concept right there. I should just tell you, fear is losing control. And right there, that should open your, light should come on. I gotta keep on explaining it, detail. See? But the thing is that that's fear. And Christianity is all about fear. Because like I said, that's what drove me. That's the mental pressure that drove me to achieve what I achieved. Because that mental pressure, it had an impact on me. Going to hell forever and ever and ever. Like, what the hell is that? I ain't asked to come here. I'm going to hell forever and ever. I didn't make myself. And if I make a mistake, well, how do I know if I make a mistake or not? And man, ooh, that frightened me. It really did. And that weighed on me for years until I finally figured it out. And I was really, when I say I was thinking about this, I was thinking about it 24/7 all my life. And I said, I want to do the right thing. That's what drove me to look for Elijah Muhammad. Right? Look for Elijah. I didn't know about Muhammad part because I was trying to solve that problem. What's this thing about hell? I'm going forever and ever. And right? Trying to see how the universe works and how this works. So I understand, because that's one thing I had to see. One thing that gave me some kind of out and gave me a lot of to question, because you're not supposed to question that. You could question it could get you in hell. Question that Jesus may not be there. But I studied, I know history. I said, well, there's a lot of religions out there. I said, how do I know this is the right one? So that gave me a little backbone, right? Say, well, yeah, well, maybe this might be the right one, so I give me a little room to question it. And the rest is history, so on. People stated fear, right? And the fear is going to increase, right? Until the reason for the fear is removed, and Master Muhammad is going to do that. Well, actually, the fear is going to increase. It's going to change, because you got fear of the devils. You're going to have greater fear of the devils in a minute, right? But it'll be a different fear, because right now you fear that they will attack you, but once they start attacking you, right? Then the fear changes if you're about anything, because your fear, right, is that if you don't get rid of them, then they're gonna get you. You see what I'm saying? It's retaliatory. So it was you in a fight, and you feel you don't get. Oh man, I'm scared. I'm scared, man. That guy gonna hurt me, or he gonna beat me, all right? So you fear him. Then you get in a fight. Well, your fear ain't that, because he beat you. He's beating you up. Your fear now is that you're gonna lose, and then he's gonna beat you some more. So your fear is directed as winning. It's a whole type of fear. You're still afraid, but now your fear is driving you. Your fear is driving you to victory, to win. The other one is the fear of oppression. You understand? There's two types of fear. Your fear of oppression. Oh man, I better not do this, better not do that. But you're going to be in a fear in a minute, because the point is when they attack you, then your fear will be directed at them to defeat them. Let's move on. And this the man, they put him, he's going to remove fear from you. Make America, that's what he said, make America great again. That means I remove the fear from you. he knows you part of the whole situation. He can't come out and say it directly, right? And I'm not going into a lot of detail about this. I've been talking about the last couple of days, but they've been losing control of you since so-called Civil War. And their fear is increasing. But they can't let you know. But because they said the way they would do it is they would do it in the background. They would address their fear of you to maintain control of you in ways you can't see it. Quality control. See, they can't stop quantity control because you've energized. And I don't know if I'm getting to that today or not, brothers and sisters, but I keep talking about quality and quality. Universe isn't, we've been energized. They can't stop that. They can change, but they can affect the quality of it. And that's a whole subject altogether. I thought I was going to talk about it today, but I changed my mind. I'll talk about maybe another later on. But because where's he all about? Where's he all about? Gaining control. Why has he got to gain control if he already has control? America's most powerful. See, he's all about overcoming fear because America's all about getting control again or make America great again. We got to get control of the Middle East. We got to get control of Greenland. We got to control. See, get control. Get control of these niggas. Get control of the education system. He's telling you if he's trying to get control, that means they lost control. That means they're in a state of fear. He's telling them in a language that they don't want you to understand. I'm gonna get this right, man. I'm gonna get all control of this stuff all over again. And you a main object, but they can't tell you that. It says, let's deal shrewdly with them so they don't see it coming. Because it's all about you. It's all about you and you don't know it. That's why it says it come upon you as a snare, because you won't see it coming. I'm trying to put all these pieces together for you. But some of you just ain't gonna get it. It says there, and everything he does, everything he's doing, I said they're writing an obituary. False Israel and America is writing an obituary. Because what they're writing is down is everything they're doing right now. Okay. If you believe in consequence, false Israel has to pay consequence for what they're doing. And it tells you, when you see abomination desolation, right? That's going to lead to their destruction. See, there's a lot of information right in there that you didn't pay attention to. I'm going to speak to it in a minute. And America right now, time of their judgment, consequence. Now the question you have to ask yourself is, if somebody's going to die, well, that's the quality. I mean, they're going to die a certain day, right? But the quality of it, how are they going to die? They're going to die with cancer. They're going to die hanging themselves, suicide, right? They're going to die in an accident, execution. It's just that's the quality. So how do you know what the quality is? Again, I tell you again. Every action has opposite equal. So you look at where the wind's blowing. See the way leaves are shaking. You know where the wind is blowing. So you can see the consequence, right? If that's the consequence coming, what's the nature of the consequence? Is be connected. Do with them as they had done to you. Don't say, or beat their ass, get them back. Revenge. You say, do them as done to you. So the point is, the consequence is directly related to what they did. So therefore, that's why I said right now obituary, because, and if you read carefully, they're starving the people over there. They said they'll be starving, they'll be eating on children, and all stuff they're doing right now is going to happen to them. It's going to be in a minute when that war starts. And America, all the stuff that's been happening to you, it tells you right there. Life we're going to do ourselves, and we're going to control it all. Even when it comes, that's not our power. We're going to be doing it. So you can see what's going to happen to them. All you got to do is concentrate 500 years into 1 year. Say, God damn, ooh, what is that about? Unprecedented. You're going to concentrate 5, because everything they did, they had to pay for it, all the whole 5 years. But you're going to concentrate in 1 year? Ooh. And it said false Israel, 79 years in a few months. Then you get some idea, because that's the quality. They determine the quality. That's why I said they're writing an obituary. Now, by saying that should have told you what I just said. But again, let's move on. And so everything they do is backfire, because right now they're fighting consequence. So they can't succeed. So that means that everything they do, that's another way of looking at it. Their wisdom returned to nothing because nothing they can do that. Whatever they do, it's going to fail. When you're fighting consequence, that's another way of looking at it. I talk about winter and spring, but look at it this way. Everything, if they fight consequence, that means everything you do is going to fail. That means your wisdom, it will not work. It worked during the time of grace when it was bottling up consequence, but now it will not work. Everything will fail, backfire, and everything is backfiring. This thing they have over Iran's all back. Nothing he's done so far has been successful. Right now, the stock market is shaking because of tariffs and all that kind of stuff. So, well, maybe they get all right. Yeah, nothing will work. I told you that. Right? And this was driving it. Energized. Momentous in heaven and earth, but come you of a sudden. Be energized. Everything I do, that's another way of looking at it. I'm gonna have to do this today, but I'm not gonna spend 2 hours doing this, so let me just cut to the chase. Hmm. Hmm. Oh man. Whew. It's been heating up, heating up. It's pressure. Pressure have the temperature and more collisions. That's war. So I'm gonna talk about something in 1 minute. This is a backfire. Everything's gonna work against them. Everything. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. Not until next year. You're gonna see it happening in real life. It's happening right now, actually. Because right now, the whole big thing in the Middle East so far, right now, isn't that a backfire from Trump getting rid of JCPOA a few years back? That's a backfire. And now the whole world is on edge because of that. So it was a big backfire. He thought he was doing a big thing, right? And now it's been the whole world's on edge. And they think it could, and the people are saying it could be a total collapse. Right? Economic collapse of America, Britain, whatever. But the thing is that when you study the angel clearly, it says that Suleiman is responsible. He's got to take the whole world. We got to start with the demons, devils, the goat, China, India, Jinn, Arabs, Africa. You got to do it all. It says, the God, Master Muhammad says, he told him, says, no one better stand against you. And I'm like your Air Force, I got you covered. But you on the ground, you got to do the battle. You and your army. You Joshua, you got to do the battle. Okay, let's get to my main topic here, brothers and sisters. And it's mostly about these sisters. Motion versus mathematics, be and it is. Okay, let me do some, I'm a very confrontational person. I tell people, you don't know me. My wife, she's the opposite, but we're nothing alike. But she's Jersey, she's Newark. She totally Newark, because, like I said, when we lived a block apart, literally 1 block apart. I was on one side of 14th Avenue, she lived on the other side of 14th Avenue. It was a dividing line, right? on Sherman Avenue. And I was a paper boy for a little while. And so their parents, I didn't know them, right, but I deliver papers to them. And it turns out they knew my father, but I didn't know that. I found out her father died, and the mother said, yeah, we knew him. And so I never had a chance to talk to my father. Passed when I was 14, right? August 21st, 1963, those sevens. I got my ex exactly 70 years later, August 21st, 1970. Anyway. So, and she's younger than me. So I didn't know them. I didn't know if they had anything. I went around the world, that bottom line, I had to bump into her on it was totally, well, you might say it's an accident, right? But then you understand how mathematics work. And like I said, we totally, we ain't anything alike. But she knew it. We from the same tribe, you know about that. We're saying the same body, right? But like I said, if you consider me to be a brain cell, she's not a brain cell. She's more like a lung cell, I guess, right? But we get along. We get along very well. The mathematics are there. And she's not an emotional person. If she is, she hides from me. She's very cool. I mean, I've been married to demons, all of them. Everybody I was married to and everything was like one from Chicago, one from Texas. That's another story, right? She passed a while back, right? One from Morocco, Arab. One of our sisters over there. Right, so, but then married her. And we had little rocky times. And the biggest problem we had with her was, like, I'm very confrontational. She's not. She's easygoing. And it's difficult. I never made her angry, but one time, you know, I don't try to make her angry. I made her angry one time. This is not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, whatever. And something happened. I was a little bugged about it. And she was trying to tell me I didn't want to hear it. I said, I don't want to hear it. And she grabbed me and said, shut up and listen. Whoop. I was surprised. I never saw that coming. I shut up and listened. Right? But she's not short. She's a little shorter than me, but she ain't skinny, but she's slim. And she said, shut up. You gonna listen to me. Boom. I listened. Right? But normally I guess and lately, man, she's really, man, ooh, she's so mellow lately, it shocks me. Because like I said, I do all the cooking. Right? On the weekend she might do something, right? But mostly I do all the cooking. And I'm in the kitchen doing stuff, right? And she got a habit of going in, wrapping stuff up in aluminum, stuff like that. I don't know what it is. And so I went in and looked something and had some vegetables I had got and everything, right? It was spoiled. She had it back in the fridge. I said, what the hell is this? I said, why you keep doing stuff like that? You put stuff in there, you wrap it up someplace, I can't find it, and it spoils, you don't bring it out, and then we got my, and I was a little bugged about it, right? And she was so mellow about, oh, yeah, okay. She was so mellow. I mean, it surprised me, because she's really mellow, but she was really, lately, because usually she just ignore me and walk away, she get her lips stuck out, right? But this time she was so mellow, like, man. Right? But she doesn't make us laughs and stuff. She's really, like lately she's been really mellow. So I asked her, you want crack or something? But the point is, that's a blessing for me because I never like deal with emotions, right? And I didn't realize that was a problem. And I'm gonna explain in a minute. Because she wasn't emotional, so I had to deal with that, but I had to do it to other people. And it was emotional wrecks. So the thing is, let me get to the point here. The point is that see, I come from the mathematical point of view thing. So when I talk about the angel and talking about the demon, all that kind of stuff, to me it was just mathematics. Yeah, we got to get rid of demons. And so it was no emotional contact. Like I said, I never had any friends, so I never had any emotional contact. connection to anybody like that. I mean, I have most connection with my wife, but see, you might not understand this, but it's not like that's what she smoked. Because we don't use the word. She never told me once in her whole life that she loved me, not once. But I don't care because I don't need her to tell me that. The way she acts, the way she conducts herself, what she does, that tells me everything I need to know. I never said to her, except for about 3 weeks ago, I said it one time. I said, "You're my best friend, and I love you." And she looked at me, "Oh yeah," and then she went on to sleep. Right? I would just put it out there, right? Because she know. She's secure with me. She's safe with me. She don't have nothing to worry about. She handles everything. She handles all the money, everything. I give her, she handles everything. Right? I give it all of her. Right? See? And she knows she's safe. She don't have to worry anything. She never had to worry about anything. Economically, everything, because I never worry about it. She never had to worry anything. She's told protect. She knows it. And she has said that, right? So that wasn't an emotional issue with her. I mean, it's emotional because, we care about each other, but it's not, it's not an emotional challenge because it's not tested. So now you go to the gym, right? You're doing these machines, right? And you're building these muscles. But there's another machine you never use, and that machine gets a muscle that you didn't know about. Then one day you out there, man, you got this muscle, you that machine, oh, why you pull something? Hey, you didn't know you had that muscle. And now you can't do anything else because that muscle hurts so bad. You don't use the rest of the muscle because that hurts so bad. Now, if you've been in the gym, you understand what I'm talking about. Because you got that muscle you didn't know you had. Or you wasn't using. I mean, you had it, but you wasn't exercising, you wasn't strengthening it. See? And so that's what me on the emotional side. Because you say, what about my children? Well, my children, they'll turn against me, but I didn't go to an emotional thing with them because growing up, I did everything for those kids. Private schools, they had their own bedrooms, they had nice houses, everything was good for them, it was protected. And my daughter told one of my daughters, she got a lot of trouble and all that stuff, and her life, messed her life up. Said it's my fault because I should let them hang out in the streets so they didn't know how to deal with life and grow up. Oh, really? So I let you say I have to get out there and get pregnant and get on drugs and everything else, and then your dad didn't tell you know how to deal with life. That kind of shit I don't want to hear. I just wrote them off. Because they said if you disrespect your parents, you don't honor your parents, especially in my case, because I took care of them. Everybody knows, even the neighbors used to say, man, y'all never seen anybody spend time with your children like you do. Because every weekend I would take them someplace. Every week on a Saturday morning, we sit down and I go through all their homework. We help them homework, show them how to do all that, stuff and everything, teach them math and all that kind of stuff every Saturday morning. And then I take them out to the beach or the music park or something. To a movie or something, whatever they want to do, right? So we always have, people say, man, you should spend a lot of time with your family. People maybe say that all the time. And so after all that, they grow up and just like I said, you grew up in a lake of shit and you hold your child up above the shit so they don't have to be in the shit. And then you get them to the shore and you put them on shore, and they didn't have to touch. You kept using the shit, but you kept them above it. And they look at you, then turn back and look at you, say, "Man, you're full of shit." They could tell you. You see them saying, "Man, hell with that." I'm about to use that word there. So that wasn't affecting me emotionally because I just wrote them off, and that's your attitude. After all I've done for you, my daughter, she got 18. I told her to get a car, got a brand new car. I mean, every time I need something, I help them, and then y'all come off like that. So that wasn't an emotional thing. So like I said, I never had to get in except for those demon women I was with. And the only thing they did was teach me how to make slots better. So I said, okay, I increased my slot until they didn't bother me anymore. So I was cut up by emotions. Learn how to, get greater control. So I'm going along. So I'm I don't look at things from an emotional point of view. I'm just looking at things strictly from a mathematical point of view. Get rid of these demons. We're going to get rid of these hypocrites and liars. Like Ben X and all those guys, right? Original people, but, and if they are original. So I'm not looking at it from that point of view. See? And then to cut to the chase here, right? because of events that happened, and I should have saw it coming, I didn't see it coming, because I said you get trials. And that's and emotion is a big part of this, what's going to happen, which I already had dismissed, because I said, man, we got to go control the emotions. We can't have emotions. Emotions is what's going to cause us problems. We got to overcome. That was my idea, because I had looked into it thoroughly, right? And how it affected me. And so my idea was you got to think mathematically, period. But I was actually saying what I was saying because I kept saying, I'm going to look out for these systems no matter what. And I didn't think that was emotional reaction, not a mathematical. I was going to stick with these systems no matter what. So I was saying it, like I said, because I'm so busy doing everything, I'm not looking at how it affects me personally. And so now I'm looking at that because, in fact, the last 4 or 5 years, that distraction kept me from doing it. But that distraction was part of the whole process that bring me to where I'm at right now. So it's complicated. So then I meet these people. Like I said, I never had any friends or anything. 9% because what I want to talk, they want to talk about. So I'm talking Angel, and nobody's talked Angel with me for the whole 30 years. I had people come in, they bullshit around everything else, but then we're going. So now, okay, the door gets open. They want to talk Angel. So we talk Angel, so I get sucked in, right? And then I get an emotional attachment, because now I got friends. Because we talk the same thing. So I didn't realize it. I was starting to get emotionally attached. See, this was happening without me realizing this was going on. See? Until something happened that made me look, oh, I didn't know this was happening here. And I looked at it, and I started thinking other things, and I started looking this deeper. I said, oh, damn, this ain't about just mathematics. This is about emotions too. That's a big part of it. I said, demons got mothers. And their mothers are original women. And getting rid of demons is going to hurt because they got children. Some of these demons are going to be children. And that's going to hurt these sisters. And I already committed. I'm going to help these sisters. But now I'm putting myself, oh, God damn, what the hell? I mean, it was like a revelation. I'm still trying to recover from it. I'm still trying to recover from it. See? I'm kind of bugged too because I'm saying I spent so much time with these people that maybe I should have thought of this years ago. This distraction, because I kept saying there's distraction. Right? And so, and then now, and constantly the whole doing time, I'm going back and forth because I'm dealing, I didn't even realize I got a conflict between emotions and math. They ain't doing anything, man. I need to get rid of them. Emotions, man, maybe they're trying. Let me try something else. See, an emotional war. I never had that before. Like a little muscle, hit that muscle, bam. And now, it paralyzed me because I can't do much less than muscle because this hurts so bad. So that muscle was exposed, which was hidden all these years. And now it's exposed. And to cut to the chase, well, no, let me just build some more stuff when I get to that point. So that, so that's emotion versus mathematics. You see? And then it gets deeper and deeper and deeper in that. Because that made me speak to what I spoke the other night. And then that led into, got worse. Because, and I always talked about that, I said, man, because I was those person, I tell you the truth no matter what. If you're ugly, I don't go and tell people walking, but you're ugly. But if you come to ask me, yeah, I'm going to tell you, right? I mean, I don't have a situation like that, but the point is, I'm not going to try to I'm not going to tell you a lie because it hurts your feelings. If you ask, I'm going to tell you. I wouldn't worry about other people's feelings. Because I'm trying to get you above the feelings, trying to get you out of the emotional state. Okay? So, now I'm worried about people's feelings. So I'm going to say things that I see because I'm worried about people's feelings. That's all new for me. Because I ain't even do that to my children. If you acting stupid, I'll tell you right away. Because I'm trying to. You need to know. Because me, if you give me criticism, I'm gonna look at the criticism first, see if it's correct or not. Now I might come after you, but first I'm gonna check to see because you see me from an angle I don't see myself, so maybe it's correct. So I'm making a lie of myself. And that's another thing, right? Because I don't do that. I keep saying, because usually I say something, I just do it that way. I keep saying, I said, no, you can't do this no more. Well, I keep going against myself. I got this conflict going. Oh no, maybe they do some. Maybe I could do it some other kind of way. I shouldn't. I'm saying, what the? I didn't realize. I'm wrapped up in this thing until it came to me that this was a trial. I would be my stuff I've been talking about for years. Now I'm being tried with it. It's like when that Guam thing. That was a trial of my emotional, mathematical quotient. Because I'm still having. We all have emotions. It's how much control you have of those emotions. Is emotion driving you, or math is driving you? You see, women have a higher emotional quotient than men do. Right? So I'm saying, because I was always wondering about these three people supposed to come with, what's their purpose? And I realized that's all about. It's emotional tests. Because they will come in and they will get involved in injury and everything else, and I didn't see it, and I said, oh, and I'll get emotional connection with them, their children and everything else, get my wife involved, all that kind of stuff. When I never did, wife tell you, we don't have any friends. And so I got pulled into that, and then all of a sudden that muscle got exposed, and I'm still unhappy about it because it's really hurting, right? And then, and I got a reaction from someone, and that made it more complicated. And then some things I've been thinking about, but I didn't want to say it because I worried about his feelings. And I said, well, damn, I didn't realize I was in that loop. Let me just cut to the chase here. I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to get to the point. The point is I'm getting all this emotional bullshit because either they identified that I was susceptible to it, or they were just on an emotional level. Because they tell me, shit, man, I got this problem, man, blood plasma and all this bullshit. So I'm saying, well, it may be, I don't care whether it's true or not. The point is, why you tell, I got a lot of, I don't tell him about I bring some things that come up here, but we're doing well. And the reason why we're doing well because of 5 pillars. We ain't wanting for anything because of 5 pillars, because we practicing them. You understand? And if I wanted a lot of money, I could have a lot of money. It's easy for me to start my business back up. And I'll show you in a minute. But that's something I'm going to talk about in a minute, right? Being it is. I'm getting that. And then the other thing that really, it's 2 things that really bother me. Lying, right? And how we interface with our women. And then I'm looking at this thing, I'm saying, why would you hide behind your woman? And that really bugged me, because that's what I'm seeing. You hide behind your woman. They're cutting their chase on this, because that's like, oh, the war started, this fight, and they're shooting bullets, you put your woman in front of you. Really? Is that what we're supposed to be doing? And you call yourself, we're probably even better than NOI. And you hide behind you, we put your women out there. And that's the biggest conflict I ever had with my wife, because I told her I'm confrontational. And I'm always, people that know me, every time they don't see me for a while, for years, when they first, and they're, man, you kicked anybody's ass today? Because they know that's who I am. I don't go out look for trouble, right? But I'm confrontational. I don't put no shit with nobody. And it's not just a white thing. I don't put no shit with anybody. I never have. And my father passed, I was into that. And I'm not afraid of anybody. Like I said, I worked for the military like it wasn't even there. They could put me in jail for years and 11 where I didn't give a damn. I was going to do what's right. I didn't care. That's my attitude. And it always worked out for me. Right? And that was a conflict I had with because and she would always try to cover for me or in background. Like I said, I told her, we broke up for a while because of that. I said, I don't want you doing that. I got this. I want you to go around making excuses and all that kind of stuff. I'll give you 2 examples real quick. There was a case, I had this house right now. I had got the house, I think I mentioned the house a while back, right? And the woman's husband, jerk, and he had a problem with me somehow. See, I know he was acting kind of funny, but he didn't really come out with it. So one day the air conditioner broke down, and I called him, they didn't answer, and I finally got to say, well, I'll be out there tomorrow. I said, wait, hold it, man. So I wouldn't pay somebody, right, to fix it. And I said, it's my cost, it's on me. So it came out. He said, how did you get fixed? I said, I paid for it. You can't be doing it. I said, wait a minute, you ain't got to pay for it. I don't care. You got to check with us first. He went off. And I didn't like the way his attitude was. And he gonna tell me, I paid for it when we use our own people. Well, yeah, but you should have had your own people out here then. See? So I said, oh, hey, man, we out of here. And she don't like that. She want to, oh, you know, her idea. Let's go. We ain't blowing nothing off. I'm not eating anybody's shit. I don't care what they got sauce on it. They got puff on it. They got sugar. I ain't eating it. Right? And so, now, when I got the place, there was 2 wash machines. There was a wash machine and dryer there, right? It was theirs, and they told me they'd move it out, and we put it on in there, right? Well, they sold it to me. So they sold it to me. I ain't there for no receipt, nothing. No, I paid them for it, right? So it's mine. So she got pissed off because what was going on, but we was leaving because she didn't want us to leave because that was good. She tried to talk us out of it. I said, no, I'm out of here, right? So she got mad, pissed off about it, and so. And the house was perfect. We cleaned it and everything, you know, left it real nice, pristine, was going. I told my wife, don't just stay away from there, just don't go anywhere near it. So then what they did is they went and called cops, we stole that wash machine and dryer. Right? And so I got a text. I said, I'm not telling you talking about. So I just blocked that, said, I ain't bound it, right? So they couldn't get through to me, so they got to my wife. So she runs over there. They got the cops waiting for her. See, I told her, stay away from over there. See, because she's going to solve the problem. I told her, when I'm in a battle, don't you get in the middle of it. So now I got to go. Now I got to pay them for the water. I'm protecting her. Because if she hadn't got in the middle, we'd go to court. I don't care what you do. We battle. But I'm protecting her because that's my duty to protect her. So I got to protect her. Then they had to pay, had to pay them for water machine. And because we took it with us, and threw some other stuff in there, all that kind of stuff. See, and I got mad at her about that. Because I told her, I said, if you do it again, I'm gonna have to get out of here. And then another situation where we was walking down, we walk on Saturday, Sundays, right? And we go across this bridge. And so they got this homeless guy, this devil. He's got this dog. The dog is loose. And I keep me a little dog stick, right? And so the dog came there, popped the dog, right? I have a dog on me. So he got mad. So we was coming back towards home. We was across the bridge. He's down there with a big old knife, right? And my wife, she got nervous because she always get nervous. I'm going to combat, right? I told her, I says, right? So she gonna try to grab me. She wanted to go back the other direction and go back. I told her, I said, I told you. Don't get in the middle of this. I tell you, you get your side over there, and you just keep on walking. Don't look back. I'll deal with it. Just keep walking. Don't look back. Right? So then he don't get to you because you're on the other right side of me, right? And once we get past him, just keep on walking. Don't look back. Don't look back. Just keep on going. Right? If you don't see, if I don't get home in an hour and call the cops, they probably kill me or something. Just don't look back. Right? See, but she was trying to grab me and stuff. I told her, I said, I'm not going to tell you again. Don't ever do that again. You see me going combat. You don't get involved. You just keep on going. Right? So then, by the time we got to next where he was, the fool pulled his pants down, drawers and everything, showed his ass. And he had some kind of patch across his waist. So I said, I'm sick, man. The doctor, I'm sick, and that's why I'm going to run a place. When I'm like that, they're right. But the point is, see, I told her, I said, don't do that. I said, don't you, I'll take care of you. You don't have to worry about anything. Don't get involved. Because you get involved now, I got to deal with you and him too. See? So I tell you, I protect you. You don't have to worry anything. And I never hide behind any woman ever in my life. I never put a woman speak up for me anything. Never. And so why? And when I say, and the problem is, we haven't been able to stand for our women we couldn't do it. We had no choice. But now we do. And then you hide behind your woman, have her speak up for you. Have her take the blame for you so you can save your ass? No. I ain't buying that one. See? And so then that's the emotion side comes. I said, I didn't want to say anything, but because see, no, you deal mathematics on that. But the other side of it is the sisters. I don't give a damn what anybody, I'm not going mathematical on the sisters. I ain't just ain't doing it. I ain't going mathematical on the sisters. Because the sisters went what they went through, I'm going to protect them. I ain't going mathematical. If I went mathematical, I might as well write them out too. I'm not going mathematical on the sisters. What they went through and everything else, that's something I'm going to stand, and to make a long story short, I'm going to give you a brief history thing here. Because when I talk about, I don't tell you the details. I said as much I don't talk to you about. But men have more discipline, natural discipline than women. That means they have more power than women. That means men will always, if they have more power, that means they have less power, subordinate to you. So how is men and women going to be equal then? Because they said they're going to be equal, male and female. Well, that's Melchizedek's doing. He's going to make that happen. Now, I'm going to give you the basic math behind it. When you get the angel tells you, when you get the scripture tells you, gives you what you knowledge you need to have, the wisdom you need to have for that season. Right? See? And so the computer generates it, but the scientists have to prove it, and they make modifications what they need to do, because they want, certain things to come out. Right? So the law, what they're giving you is that bottom line is angels tell how much discipline you need. The bottom line of it is you need to get to the hereafter, pretty much. I mean, that's the long and short of it, right? And this gets very complicated. I'm not going to a lot of detail. In fact, I shouldn't be discussing this till we get home. I shouldn't even be discussing this till we get home, tell you the truth, because this gets really into a lot of deep stuff here. But the thing is that when you have, I said, we brought everything into creation. Little things, more complicated. And so as we start rolling things back, we take out the most complicated back and bring things back to, eventually, we come back and eventually male and female become one again, and so forth, so on. Because as the pressure increases, we got to bring those things back in to withstand the increased pressure. Until we have to bring everything back in. It says, when from life all things came. Right? But it has to be timed just right. See? Because we could bring the male and the female back together now, but what would that mean? That would cause a lot of stress and everything, because now I don't want, I'm getting too detailed here. So the thing is that we put this creation and so now we're going to enjoy it. So we want to bring things back as they need to become back, because that's part of the creation. And that's one of the reasons why we're using the devil as a servant. They won't be devils then, right? That's part of the process. It gets too complicated, so I don't know if I can say it simply. But we don't want to make the male and female to be, because remember, that's how they are heaven. And so they're going to be pretty much masters of because if you understand they're our heaven, right? Right? So, but at some point in time, we have to come back and withstand increased pressure, which maybe trillions of years from now, 62 trillion years from now, maybe, right? So, when the scriptures revealed to give the information you're given, the man will be given information he needs to his discipline. I'm throwing his number here to 90%. He only required to use 9% of his discipline, 90%. See, and that'll be sufficient. The scripture, like right now, the scriptures tell us to use 5 pillars and everything has to use so much discipline, but you can use more than that. I mean, hell, just throw something out there. Maybe it comes that you eat 1 meal every week, maybe 1 meal every month or something, right? We don't have to go that far. Maybe that's that. I'm not saying that's where it is. I'm just throwing it out there. So the thing is that we're gonna justice or discipline will be equal male and female, because she have to use 100% of hers, but 9% of ours is equal to her 100%. So the power will be equal. And that's the way Melchizedek would make sure that the scriptures always keep that level, equality there. So they'd be equal. So she could achieve Hajj. Because if we go back 100%, she can't achieve Hajj. Because we have more power over her. But we have to do it. But when time comes, or it's come back together, then he has to 100%. Because that's what's going to take to merge us back together. One overcome the other, and that gets into genes, DNA, that kind of stuff, right? But I'm not getting to the chemistry of it. But one has to overcome the other, right? One pressure, greater pressure overcomes the lower pressure. That's how it burns back together again. So I don't know if you understand that, it made any sense to you, whatever. And to make us stay equal, not only that, right? But that's the protection to this female, so she stay equal, so she's not oppressed, because otherwise we oppressed for 72 trillion years, and that would kind of disrupt our paradise, because if she's under our control, that means we're controlling her quality. So all we getting back is what we putting in, so we ain't really getting the benefit of her beauty, because we're trying to make her like ourselves, you know. So I mean, that's too complicated. I'll just give you the bottom line there. So that's what Melchizedek would do, so we stay equal. So the men's discipline will stay just up to 90%. Because the revelation they get, the scriptures require them just to give them information to use 90%. But it'd be 100% for her. And she can do it. You see? And that's also a reward, because she saved this nation too. Because we don't want her oppressed. I mean, we could do that, right? But then again, that affects our heaven too. You understand? I don't know if that's too complicated for you, whatever. And that's why I say I'm gonna protect them. And I'm gonna do that. I don't give a damn what anybody says. We're gonna make them equal. And they deserve it. And I'm not gonna go mathematics on them. You understand? Once they achieve that 100%, then they're good to go. Because there ain't no way in the world they're gonna come out of the tribulation 100%. There's no way. They're going there with children and everything else. There's no way it's going to happen. They have to reach a certain level, obviously. But the finishing process will be after they get home. But then all of a sudden, you're going to have service and things to take care of the children, all that kind of stuff, so they can focus totally on self-improvement or whatever. So hope you understand that. But if you out there, I mean, but you hide behind your woman, she got to stand for you. What is that? I ain't forgiving that. You see, and that's the problem. Now, like I said, the problem is for me is that now I got to look at this whole thing differently, because these demons out here, these hypocrites and everything else, they got mothers that are original, they got wives that are original, and they still gonna have emotional because what I just said. And that's gonna hurt them to get them. And the devil planted that away. I said, they've been planning. I looked and I said, oh man, that's part of their plan. Because I said years ago, they trying to figure out a way to get into the hereafter. And the scriptures tell you that. And slide in. That's one of the ways. Because if we take and say, okay, the sisters pleading, because they get out in the lessons about how those Ishmael sisters saved the baby, and now they came all white because they felt sorry for the babies. You understand? So, brother, still my man, can you help my husband? You know, I mean, but they're hurting. It's emotional. I don't want to hurt the sister. Oh, that's my baby. Because that's how the devil, they come to their emotions. They feed them. They know how to get to us. That's why you always see they always come to the female. And so now that's something else I got to deal with. And I'm not happy about it. And I can say a lot more, but I'm going to move on to the next thing. And hold on, because I forgot something here. I mean, how could... How I'm a woman? I ain't never did that in my life. And I told you, that's me, my white boy, because she wants to be protected. I said, you don't need your protection. I protect you. She's getting it now, so I will. Listen, that last issue we have, that devil under that bridge. Right. Hold on, let me find this real quick. Where is that at? Okay. And this is something else altogether here. Okay, go here. I can find this. I've got to get this over here. See if I can find it. No, it's not there. Let's see if it's here. See, it says the devils, they be hiding behind. They're women, are women. Okay, where is this thing at? What's the seventh? It should be here. Come on, come on. Okay, I'm just have to talk it through about this because I can't find it. It should be right here. What's the 7th? Should be right here. Let me try one more. Yeah. There it is. There it is. Mm-mm. Okay, that's it. Okay, what I'm going to show here is this is a lengthy subject, but I'm going to keep it short and maybe talk more about it tomorrow. Now, being it is, now it says Suma's job is to be, and he's a technician, technical, and analytical side of the brain. It is, he brings existence, right? Okay, now you take, for instance, you go back into so-called, they call it the Renaissance. Isaac Newton, those guys. Okay, he came with that basic physics that they use today. He came with ideas. And people took, so, oh man, I can do this with this. I can, oh, every reaction has an opposite reaction, okay. And band and so forth. And they, it's Galileo, he was able to come up with a telescope. And you might not realize it, but Henry Ford, he didn't invent the car. What he did was he looked around and saw, oh man, they got glass and they got wheels and all that stuff. He said, hey, I can put this stuff together and come with a car. Same thing with that guy, Steve Jobs. He didn't invent, the components was there, and he said, hey, I can put these components together and have a phone. Same thing with Bill Gates. Bill Gates did not invent Microsoft. He stole it from Apple. Because IBM is a whole different technology than Apple. right? And a whole different framework, right? A whole different mindset. So he says, okay, but IBM didn't want to go into PCs. So what he did, he took that idea concept, had a PC, which I don't think he came up with the PC either. He used, but he came up with the operating system. He took the operating system from Apple and modified it to run like an IBM kind of clone laptop, whatever. That's what he did. And now he's a billionaire. He didn't invent anything. See? So what it says is that, see, I didn't want to talk about this because, like I said, if I have to talk about it, why I have to, because I said, okay, the injury, I said, okay, because it said, remember it says, you cut the tree down and they leave root, no branch. I said, it's DNA. Okay, it is. But it says the trees didn't bear any fruit. Now, the Indians put all kinds of information out there. And you can't prove, and nobody stepped forward and said it was anything wrong. At least they haven't told me. Like I put out a thing about $1,000, and nobody took, I actually put it on their website the other day, right? They said all the stuff. I said, any of y'all, they had a thing on YouTube, everybody was commenting, live, right? I said, anybody on here can prove any of this bullshit, I give them $1,000. Got nobody, oh, we love Farrakhan. Well, why don't you take this, come get your $1,000? So I put some information. I said, my job's putting information out there. Right? See? And so the thing is that, and I'm cutting to the chase here, right? Because I said, those, I was wondering about these problems coming, right? And I said, really? I said, what's the nature of it? Well, it actually was a challenge, the emotional challenge. It couldn't be any more than that, because they haven't done anything with the books. So the books are going to be considered someone else, because the books are ones for them. If it was, because the books are designed the same mind matrix that you are. Because the angel doesn't, because that's the way I think. So, right? And the original people, right? So, I mean, the break the seals is sealed in a way that I would think. That's how I broke them. I'm not talking about getting all the information out of it, because I give information, I showed everybody, so now you could do it. But it was locked down with certain matrix, if you will, right? That's consistent with my brain pattern. That's why I was able to do it, right? Because that's the way I think. Then you got to go and try to figure, what it's saying. So I put this information out there. So that same thing, those books, right, are written for the same mindset of the people that's supposed to use it. So whoever gets it, it's going to say the same thing happened to me. It's going to register because their mind thinks along those lines. And I was wondering who's really going to be. It's going to be somebody NOI or whatever. So it hasn't been revealed yet. But whoever it's going to be, it's not going to take long to get it, because hey, it's going to register with them, because they don't even know the books exist. Like I didn't know the angel existed. At least I know Revelation, but I know that the idea behind the angel, all that kind of stuff. So you go in and you put all this information. Now remember, it's all mathematics. And I had the mathematics, I just didn't apply it that particular way. I mean, I understood the devils are going to be destroyed, everything, because I understood the pressure. I knew that before I had the angel. I understood those things. But I just didn't know the details. I didn't know the quality. I knew the quantity, I didn't know the quality. The angel gives you the quality. Okay. So I come with all these, I put all this information out there, because that's what I said. The so-called Renaissance, Newton and all those guys, Leibniz and all those guys, they can't put this information out there. And people took it and said, hey, whoa, they started doing stuff with it. Guns, gunpowder, trains, all this kind of stuff. They didn't cover that stuff. They put information out there, and people say, hey, I can do this, I can do this with that. See? That's the same thing with, and they had information that wasn't that great, but it was good enough to do what they did. Like the Romans, they had information that was much less, but look what they was able to do with a little bit of math they had. They didn't have zero. So now, the angels come out all this information out there, and nobody's doing anything with it. And this is a good example right here. I don't have no money, I had that kind of stuff, This is an example right here. Now, I did it 2 times. I was just wondering about that. Because I wanted money, I could have money right away just with this. But see, I don't want winter money that's going to melt in a minute. And the devils, I give them, I don't know if I care about giving devils because they're not going to be able to do anything with it. Just like if they gave us calculus and everything else 340 years ago, we didn't do anything with it because our mental deprivation wouldn't register with us. Because we was mentally weak, everything. And like right now, the pressures are great. They ain't going to be able to do anything with this. Because it's crushing them. So that's why I don't mind giving it to them. I put it out there. I didn't give it to them. I put it out there. But you could do something with it. Now, if you look at this simply, this is a simple thing. You could build this thing out of Home Depot. All you need is a metal cylinder and you need a goddamn pump. That's the technology. It's simple as that. You take the pump and you pump the air out of one section and push it out the other side. That sucks the air in and push it out, and that's it. Once you do that, you got the concept. You lock down the concept, copyright or whatever, and they'll give you $1 billion a second to see it works so they can own it because they're going to make so much money off of it. Now, I'm telling you that right now. I could do it right now. I could go out there right now and do it if I want money. They talk about he's the rich. No, he's not. I'm the wealthiest man on the planet. Here, this is where the wealth comes. Not how much money you got in the fucking bank. Yeah, I used it. I'm trying to get a point across. Because you got your concepts all wrong. He's got a lot of. What good's that money? What good's $1 trillion worth of snow when spring comes? Now, if I'm lying, go check it. If I'm lying, that's not simple. You can buy these damn pumps. The pumps exist. You just got to modify it. And then you got to tune it. So, depending on how fast you go and how much air you want to pump. You pump air in, out this here, so it sucks the air in, because you make a vacuum, and then you push the air out. So now you don't have to, the sonic booms. And you go as fast as you want to. You can use it, go through water as fast as you want to. It's just simple. So if people are studying, they understand that they should say, because they only studying. They don't know what they're doing. I put so much stuff out there like this. Like I explain how gravity works. It's very simple. They show that Einstein was wrong. And nobody can contradict it. And I'll give $1,000 to anybody that can show that's wrong what I said about gravity. It's absolutely right. The math is absolutely right. Now show me any way that they graph that, and I'll give $1,000 right now. It's public. But nobody could, they could went out and wrote a book about it, whatever. I even told people, I said, well, if you want to start a little temple and you could bring people in. Because that's how they got people. That's how if you want to get people. Because now, okay, because that's why Elijah, that's why Elijah's by itself. But that's why Mass Promise is there, because the point is all I got to do is concentrate on giving out the blueprints. Otherwise, I'd have to work both. Because initially, I thought I did. I thought I had to go out, man, and go out in the desert, get some people out there and build certain things. I'm not going to get into any details there. And I said, no, that's not the way it's supposed to work, right? But I'm putting information out there, and Elijah Muhammad, right? He made it real. He made it real. He went out to economics, and that's how people attract people. And people got it and say, okay, now they can get a vision because they got some concrete to work with. Instead, he's out there just talking. See? So I put it out there, and that was the job of the take say here now, and then people say, oh man, look, because they see, hey, this is real, because that works. Elijah Muhammad's real, because look what he's doing. He's building, he's doing this stuff. It's something they can put their hands on, tangible. And this right here, it's simple. That's why I put it out there twice, but it ain't for me to get followers on that kind of stuff. Like I said, that's not my mission. My mission is to put information out there. Because not just this, it's a lot of stuff I put out there. A lot of information I just probably took that information, and I ain't got no money, I got stuff, took information and made money, build a temple, whatever they wanted to do, because it's tangible. And it's all accurate. I explain how the evolution works, all these different things. You never got a light like that. People said, I said a great light. You see light? You got all this B out there. And you ain't doing anything but it is. That means you ain't for real? Or you're an agent? Or whatever. Because you got all this material. That's why I told you about it in the very beginning. I says, my job is to give you material. You have to take and make material your paradise the way you want it. I told you about it from the very beginning. I'm going to give you material. I get you home. That's part of the material. I get you there. You get in the desert. You sit in the desert. Okay, you sit in the desert. No, you got to do something with it. You got to do something with it. I said, I'm giving you some material so you can do something with it. The energy. I'm not giving you energy. I'm giving you material. Because the energy, you get that. I can't control that. If I give you the blueprints, when I eat the blueprint, I just get it right. And so now you got some money. What you gonna do with it? So I get all these ideas and all that kind of stuff and nothing, zero. So it's gonna happen, because devils, they can't. They might want to but it's like I said, they're gone. The pressures, I don't have to worry about that because they can't do anything with it. They might, for a moment. But that's a simple concept right there. I said, I made it so simple for you. Well, it's just a pump. You pump the air, and so now you don't have no resistance because you pump the air in. And you got no, right, sound effect in the end because the vacuum that causes a sonic boom, you're pushing the air out, and so now there's no vacuum. Simple. You move fast you want to go because you don't have any resistance. It's just how fast your engine is just pushing you. And, right? So you have a boat and you do the same thing underwater like a submarine, right? And so now you're flying under as fast as you on air, and look at all the things you could do. So instead of going across, take a week or two to get across the ocean, a couple of hours. Because that's what the ships do. That's the technology they use on the ships. I'm talking about the deal with air resistance. I ain't talking about how to fly around space and stuff. I ain't talking about that one. They would love to have that knowledge, but it wouldn't do them any good anyway. Because, right? They about to be crushed in a minute. Okay. So. The bottom line is, I'm saying, is that nothing happening here, and the other people, they just said, they was just trial for me. But the bottom line is, it's troubling, and I'm really upset about it. I didn't see that coming. It's a trial to test my emotion as opposed to my mathematical thinking. But I'm not going to go mathematical on these sisters, so I'm not going to do that. And that's how they become, and I told you the process of how they become equal. Because you got to restrain the discipline of the male, but that's okay, because hereafter, that discipline they have is still good enough. 9% discipline is enough to be in paradise and do everything you want, to be happy and enjoy it. 90% discipline. And to give you everything you need. You won't need any more than that. And plus, now you got the beauty of your wife, right? Because her full beauty is exposed now. Her full beauty is blooming because nothing to press it. She's in Hodge, nothing to restrain or press it. Because otherwise, you're gonna restrain it, and then you may how come she ain't, because you're pressing it. You the resistance. You don't realize it. So we're gonna eliminate that. So now her full beauty will come forward, right? And you can enjoy it, and then she can enjoy you, and on equal terms. But then as time which comes with us merged back together, then you have to turn on the 900%, right? To get control, because we have to be one being. And if we're one being, right, we can't have two controls in one being. I think I'm gonna leave it there, brothers and sisters. I think I said a lot. There's a lot more I wanted to say, right? But I'm not going mathematical on sisters. But the problem is they're going to cause me a lot of problems. Because they're going to plead for their babies. They're going to plead for their husbands. Especially the husband hide behind him. I can't, ooh, that was, we probably, I mean, I don't know why they plead for him anyway, because we probably protecting them. You probably hide behind them. Let them stand up and fight for us. Stand up and fight for yourself. I mean, what kind of husband are you? You get in trouble and you had to put him out there going, plead for me. No, I'm not going to accept that. So that's the emotional state I'm going to have to deal with. I'm going to have to deal with a lot of that. Because these demons, they got to go. And they got mothers. Demon children, they got to go. Hypocrite children, resistant children, they got to go too. Missing husbands, they're going to be pleading for them. They got emotional connection, and they're not ready. They won't go mathematical till they get home the hereafter. So during that period of time, that's going to be a lot. And I'm not going to condemn the sisters for it. That's what I'm just telling them. I'm not going to condemn them for it. I got to deal with it. I didn't see that one coming. I'm still upset about it. That's a heavy burden. I know it. I can see it coming now. I see that's a heavy burden. It's almost as heavy as just getting the angel itself. That's a heavy burden, emotional, because that's that little muscle I had never had to deal with. Had everything under control, man. You're gonna get rid of demons like with no problem. Now I got a damn problem with it, a big problem. Because these sisters, man, they got emotional connection with them. And it has to be done on this side. If it's done here, after those way, they have blood connection. If it's done on that side, they should have reached, well, at some point, reached a mental, mathematical level, and so they understand it'd be no problem. But if it's done on this side, where they still had a high emotional content, and they're going, and even if they don't say anything, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna break their heart. And some of them are not gonna be able to survive. That's why I told her about Lot. She couldn't survive it. She couldn't, just took too much out of her. I didn't see that one coming. It still bother me. I keep talking about it because it still bother me. I didn't see that one coming as a trial. I didn't see it coming. Now I see it. And then, like I said, and I thought, I said, okay. And then all of a sudden, it got worse. I said, well, now you got men hiding behind women. So can it get any worse than that? But I'm not going mathematical, these sisters, so forget it. Anybody got a problem that's too damn bad, I'm not doing it. They want to go home, they're going home. I said, there's a couple of things I will not, no way I will accept. They so arrogant, disbelieving against their parents. They come with the devil. Nah. I ain't accepting that one. So I already prepared myself for that one. I knew there'd be some problem with that too. Well, man, he was good. He might be a devil. He was good to me. Oh, yeah, I was praying for that one, but I wasn't praying for the other one. That's my children, man, and they bad. They'll be all right, and so forth and so on. Oh. Talking about the male children. I ain't talking about the females. But we ain't gonna make no distinction. But we have to definitely be a difference. Because females not a threat. They don't have the seed. But that's not something I'm gonna worry about. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So there's all kinds of information out there. I'm putting all this information out there, showing how the universe works. You didn't get that from any place else. How energy, all this kind of stuff fits in. You can get stuff any place else. Break down the Quran and all these different things you can get any place else. And nobody's can. I'll give $1,000 anybody prove me I'm wrong in any of it. So you got all this information and like this right here. I'm almost tempted just to do it. But if I got to go through all that, like I said, well, time is running anyway. Because they say, this thing gonna blow up any minute now. It may be blowing up right now. But I was tempted about a year ago. I put this out about 2 years ago, I think 3 years ago. I was tempted to go ahead and just do it. right? Because it's just simple. All you need is a metal cube, a metal cylinder, and a pump, and be able to departmentalize the front and the back so you can pump all the air out of the front and push it into the back. Pushing the back, that means you have high pressure in the back, it's going to push outward. Got low pressure in the front, it's going to suck air in. Simple as that. No resistance. No sonic boom. And part of the reason why cars use so much gas and everything, because they got the resistance. That's why they build cars like that. Build them so cut down air resistance as much as possible. But this, you don't need a nose cone. It could be flat. It don't matter, because you're not dealing with air resistance anymore, like down here. I'm gonna leave it there, brothers and sisters. I think I said enough. Well, I said quite a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Assalamu alaikum. Let me see something here.